Three, two, one.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulpery Nerdcast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the nerd culture headlines that intrigue us and those minor details that enrage us.
Loki.
Yeah. New season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been a while, so we're just going to do all 3 episodes so far.
It's been like 4, hasn't it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Has it?
I think so.
I thought 4 came out this week.
I mean, you're probably right. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. 3.
3, right? And it was like slow built. Like the first one was just kind of like putting the characters in place. Renslayer, what's Ravonna?
Yeah, but yeah, she didn't, or she was referenced, but they had that weird, creepy lady who was trying to blow up all the different timelines.
Yes.
Who's always like some sadistic motherfucker in whatever she plays.
Yes. Not female Loki.
No, like whoever the replacement lead of the TVA was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was murdering people but trying to get back on the same timeline, which is always brutal.
Yeah.
Like the head of security at this point was even like,
yeah.
Why are we doing this? Jumping ahead though. So that was the first episode. The second one is when, what else did they do in the first one? It was just setting the table.
they yeah, I mean it was a lot of that. Like, so you had Loki being torn through time.
And he still
is. And then that's when they have to bring in Data from the Goonies.
Right. That was in episode 1. I didn't think we didn't get to Data until 2. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So yes, Loki starts getting torn through time.
Right.
Which is weird.
No, because remember, it ends with Mobius in that weird time spacesuit.
Yeah.
And they have to like rip Loki out of the...
Thank you. That's what I couldn't remember. Okay, yeah, that's exactly
Because then episode 2 they go into...
He's gonna die. And,
yeah.
You know he's not, but still, watching Mobius do his thing.
Yeah.
I feel he doesn't get enough credit.
No. Well, and
the actor, Owen.
Well, because I think it's, he for so long he played just that, I'm a goofy white guy.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And he still leans into it, but it's more...
He's more endearing in this. It's not...
Thank you. That's a great word. He's not just fun douche.
Yeah. Like he's tapping back into what made him popular in the first place from his early Wes Anderson movies.
I couldn't remember his name. I was like, He's back to Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember Wes Anderson's name.
Like quirky, but you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, you're fun. Now the chair's doing it.
When's your jet ski coming back? Come on.
How I will pop big time, like wrestling pop, when he gets to ride a jet ski.
Yeah.
I hope he gets to ride one to Valhalla.
Yeah, into the sunset.
That would be fit.
Yeah.
He dies in battle with Loki and rides to Valhalla on a jet ski. I'd hate to see you die, but, there are worse things that could happen with a jet ski.
But he ends up with Lady Thor and Heimdall and Valhalla on the jet ski.
And Odin and Hela. Does Hela go to Valhalla if she dies in battle?
No, I think she goes back to hell. Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
her name is Hel. I get it.
Again, the most I know about Norse mythology is really from the God of War series. So.
Yeah, that and comic books.
Yeah.
Pretty much is where I get my Norse. And the occasional Skarsgård movie.
Sure, and Assassin's Creed. So
there it is. There you go. That is our Norse mythology.
We're experts.
So yeah, and then him trying to convince. That's the other thing that I was trying to remember. Him trying to convince everybody that you're all fucking variants.
Yeah.
Like, there's this guy who we killed. Like, you don't understand what's going on. And everybody's just like, okay, we got to get him time slipped here. Dada's got to fix everybody. And he's so calm. He's like, I do it all. And he stopped when, like, did a mail slot, like, mid-conversation, just to nail the point home. Like, he's doing it all.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember his name in the show, but he will forever be Dada.
Oh, yeah.
Fortune and glory, Dr. Jones. Sorry.
Or Short Round.
Yeah. Short Round's another good one.
I'll bring it up in a second.
Good. Thank you. So him trying to... There's so much going on.
Or he's QB in the show. Like the letter Q. And B. And then Ki-Hu Kwan. I think I said that right. Ki-Hu Kwan is his
real name?
Yeah.
Didn't he just win an Oscar for
the
movie
Everything All Together at Once? Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
Which we need to do that.
A little busy sometimes.
Yeah. But we need to, because that's got Our Lady in it, Michelle Yeoh. So.
Yeah.
Who also won an Oscar.
Thank you. Yeah, we got that coming up, but that's not till Christmas. First of all, we're on the Nerdcast real quick. I gotta say, let's have a moment of silence because Dune should be out in 2 days.
But it's not.
But because the studios suck cock, I have to wait until the wife's birthday to see it now.
Which is March?
15th. 3/15ths? Yeah.
Ugh.
March 15th.
There's just going to be a lot of shit coming out all at once. But, so anyway.
Which is what happened after COVID. And then my head's going to spin around like The Exorcist.
We got to get the AMC passes so that we can just try and get through of them.
I'll just have to tell. Oh my God, they are really going to lose Game 7 at home.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Ain't over yet. But anyway, back to Loki.
Okay. Sorry.
After 3 asides. First off, I love the title of the second episode, which is Breaking Brad. And it was that doucher
who is now a reoccurring. Now, since that has evolved. And I told
he had like
wife,
5 seconds of screen time, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, if we're fucking doing this, let me go back and let me go to another timeline and become a movie star.
And yes, and I told the wife the same thing. I was like, Brad, welcome aboard. Because the next episode is 1892.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that episode in a second. But Brad, and I don't even know how he got drug into it because he's like a random cubicle worker.
Oh, you're thinking of the dude that...
That's not Brad?
No. Brad was like the right-hand man of the evil substitute TVA leader.
Oh.
And remember, and when, like, episode 1, when Mobius and Loki are explaining to everybody that they're variants, he's like, wait, what?
Oh.
And that sends him on, like, a midlife crisis.
Yes. Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
And then...
I thought it was the other guy who's stuck around now.
No, that I forget the character's name, but that's Eugene Cordero, who is... He just got a goofy voice.
The other guy that's always around is kind of like
the nerdy desk guy who was like,
yes.
Oh, we got Infinity Stones everywhere.
I thought that his name was Brad.
No. Damn, forget about that. But anyway, no, like Brad's like a total doucher. He's that guy that they catch in London.
Yeah.
But then, like, that one was like, oh, is this what we're doing with this season? Like, they're just going to jump around to all these interesting points in time.
Well, he did that in parts of the first season, too.
Yeah, but it's usually on, like, alien planets and stuff like that.
Yeah, now they're doing... See, before he was like... God, too bad he wasn't H.H. Holmes. D.B. Cooper.
Yeah. Well, he could be. He could be H.H. Holmes.
I drew a line from D.B. Cooper to H.H. Holmes there.
Well, they did drop the H.H. Holmes reference.
That's kind of what I was...
Yeah.
I mean, Loki's an evil bastard. He could have been...
Or there could be a Loki variant that was that.
I need an episode on H.H. Holmes where there's a Loki variant murdering people in a maze.
Why aren't they giving me Eugene Cordero? But yeah, and then... but again, episode 2 is a lot of setup.
Yes.
It's still... It's trying to...
it's
indicate the severity of what's going on, and then you get more of...
Because at the very end...
Where's Ravonna?
The very end of season 1, it became apparent, like, oh shit, everyone's variants. It's not the Timekeepers. It is Kang. I'm not going to say his other names. He's fucking Kang.
Yeah.
And then you kill him, and then it's like, bam, okay, now you have to explain that everybody's a fucking variant, that he's been manipulating this thing the whole time.
Right.
The only reason he wants the sacred timeline is because he can actually control everything on the sacred timeline, and he can't on all the others. So, and it's trying to get...
But I still like the way that they left it off in season 1, in which, like, he's the one rational...
Right.
Kang, or at least was it powerful enough to beat all the other ones, or
powerful enough to go,
them?
I need
Yeah.
I've got to keep this, and I'll sit here and I'll be the man behind the curtain.
But
if you kill me,
yeah. But he knew what his end was going to be, and then, which of course, I mean, you're locked in a tower by yourself.
Everybody's gunning for you
with only a couple of conjugal visits from Ravonna here and there.
Ravonna, this sneaky little bitch. She's gonna have a face.
And Miss Time, yeah.
Miss Time's a harlot.
Or she wants to be.
Yeah, she has clearly been a. Poor Miss Time.
And that leads us to episode 3, where you get old shit. Start with.
World's Fair, Chicago.
Well, no, it's like, remember the first one, it's old wooden building Chicago.
Oh, yeah, but they're not there.
Where they drop off the book for He Who Remains, and then
we end up in World Fair.
Yeah. Or what was he, like, or I forget the first name, but Timely, I mean...
Mr. Timely?
Yeah.
Of course his name's fucking Timely.
Exactly. So...
The hair. Like that hair in his...
I just say it like, yeah, I mean... Before they had styling products, I mean, that's not...
No, you know what he reminded me of?
That they were going for a little bit.
Samuel L. Jackson for the uninitiated.
Like the non-villain villain.
Right.
Until it's like, oh, shit.
Because he's right. He's just like smart guy with glasses, a little spastic, a little anxiety-ridden, until, it gets intense.
Well, and what I liked about all the different sequences in that, and we can elaborate more on the other side of the break too, but in that you're going, like, what's going to happen? And then in the end, the big reveal is that Miss Time is this fucking bananas AI.
Yep.
And that sequence where she molds her face over the mannequin.
And the first, like I said, off mic, like when she goes black and white.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they said to her. Like, you're too cheery, or you've got too much color for this time. Yeah. And she went black and white. I went, okay, there's something nefarious.
And then when she put on, like, the Pac-Man ghost skirt.
Right.
To be when she blew up.
And there's like a person, but I want to know what she's doing. Is she AI? Is it Kang?
Well, I mean, that's what...
we haven't seen Kang with he doesn't have a...
That's the explanation that we're getting. Well, I mean, I think she's the one who is like... She's the automated manager.
That manager is a great word.
Of everything.
She was put there in the TAV.
TVA.
Whatever. I say TAV because it's talented in the arts. It doesn't mean talented I don't know what it is for the school, for the child. So, yes, she oversaw all of that, and because she's an AI, she could...
We want to take this time to thank you for supporting the Pulpery Podcast. We are available on all podcast platforms, so please follow us and turn on the downloads. You can always delete them later. If audio is not your thing, we are on YouTube. Check out our page and hit the subscribe button, like our episodes, and share with all your friends. Follow us on all the socials for our latest content and additional takes on the latest stories and news.
If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
You could start. Well, Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
We stand corrected. Miss Time, Miss
Yeah.
Minute. Miss Minutes makes more sense because she will be charging for her time later. Because she is evolving into a, what did I say, harlot earlier?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, good, because that is what she is.
Yeah.
She is a
lady of
she's a working,
digital lady of the night.
she is a working lady.
Yeah, or she wants to be.
Okay, I mean, everybody needs life goals.
Sure, I get it.
Hers is like, I've been fucking managing this place this whole time. The least I could do was
What was that? But like that's what I was thinking as we were riffing off mic was. So now you have an AI that has said, "I want human form."
Yeah.
So they're probably going to figure out one of these characters to put her in human, either whether it's Ravonna or it's female Loki.
What if it's the head of security?
Oh yeah. Ooh, interesting.
What if they put her in a...
That's a curveball.
What if they put her in a dude?
Yeah, what if they put him in short round?
No. Is Brad still around?
Maybe.
I mean, we all know, like, well, the obvious choice is Renslayer.
Yeah.
Ravonna?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Because some of them call her Ravonna, some of them
call
call her
Renslayer, yeah.
She's a evil...
Well, Owen Wilson calls her Ravonna. Hey, Ravonna.
We're best friends.
Remember when we were drinking? It was weird.
And she's like, wait, you're just going to go away? You don't want to stay? Because we closed a big case. No, Ravonna, I think I just... Whoa.
But yeah, so... But,
So, yeah.
Who knows? They may not play into the, expectations.
Does she have... I mean, clearly she has ties with Kang, right?
Yeah, Kang created her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So she's doing his bidding. But
yeah.
the Kang that created her is now dead.
Right. So she's free.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that why she is her free spirit?
Sure, I think so.
She's
now,
letting her freak flag flow.
Yeah. Or
Oh, here
has
we
she?
go.
I mean, because she has free access
That's
to
what
go
I'm saying.
wherever
She's
she
seen
wants.
everything too.
So has she made another deal with another Kang variant?
But can she see outside the timeline?
Yeah.
Or is she just on the sacred timeline? She can see everything. She's all seeing, like Kang,
Yeah.
because Kang programmed her to be her eyes.
Well, she runs the system.
That's what I'm saying. So she is his eyes and ears,
Right.
while he sits in his White Castle at the end of time.
Yeah.
Well, he did until female Loki, Sylvie,
Right.
murdered him.
Or I think another way to think about it is that she's like the fail-safe. So if anything happens to him,
She's the one who's
he
like
still continues
right.
the TVA.
Is that why she needs a human body?
At least
Or
the
is
way
that
they
more
can
a physical thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that she was
She's
she
been
was
lacking.
granted like free will, I guess, to a certain extent, but she was lacking a physical form, and
that's his way of controlling her.
sure.
Well, he's dead now, but that was his way of
Right. So
controlling
a
her.
new one she might be able to convince.
Hey, baby, look at me.
Which would go back to what I was saying is that so if this one doesn't do it, then what's going to stop her from jumping around to other
God
Kangs?
damn it, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
So could she do... God, what was that horror movie where you touch somebody and the bad guy, spirit, moved from one person to another?
Oh, the Denzel Washington one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But she'll be able to do that? Like jump conscious? I can't say that. I'm too...
Well, I would think there has to be some sort of process by which he gets put into, but the idea being is that apparently the only people with that technology savvy are some variant of Kang.
Right. Yeah.
And she lost out with this current variant. So maybe she makes a deal with one of like the super evil Kangs, one of the blue-faced Aqua Suit Kang.
Or
Pharaoh Kang, or one of the
think they
millions.
have like an alligator Kang like they did Loki?
Baby.
That would be fucking rad to watch Alligator Loki and Alligator King do battle.
It's all possible.
Or the kids.
In the multiverse.
Or the old guys.
Yeah.
Old Loki. Although he's dead now. He died to the nothingness.
I hope they figure out a way to bring him back, because Richard Grant was beautiful.
He was wearing fucking old man underwear. You know, it was like he's the old man in underwear and slippers and a beater on.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't do much of anything. And an Uber driver brought him a costume. So this might make you feel better.
So, where do you think it's going from here?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, I mean, we've already done one storyline possible sequence, but...
So, I love the fact that we're talking about Miss Minutes and not Kang.
Yeah.
Who was kind of all over that last episode, but like he just kind of... Miss Minutes took up all of it. Like especially the end.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was all dedicated to her craziness.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what 1892 Kang was all about, right? That variant, we don't... There was nothing said about him other than him just kind of being there and helping move the story along.
And I will say this, is that...
while Loki's going, oh my God, that's him.
To real quickly get into a topical issue with this, is that if they were going to 86 Jonathan Majors from this, I mean, they could easily do reshoots, or, you know, I mean, they made Michael Douglas look like he looked in, you know, Romancing the Stone, so...
Well, I mean, they
you could implant somebody's face on...
They took a mustache off of Superman.
Badly.
Just saying.
Thank God it was shot on a cell phone.
Pro 17.
But yeah, I mean, you're going like, well, they would have been able to figure that out. So I think, but as we preface, is that Marvel's gone all in on this Kang line.
He is the Thanos of their their next big phase. Although I hear they're wanting to kind of do a soft reboot.
I would think so.
No, I mean like.
But they could do that on. They got two different variants going on right now, so
they got so much going on, and I think they need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different.
Yeah, clearly nobody told them about Burnout.
And I'm glad. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but between COVID and now the writer's strike, they've had to pump the brakes a little bit,
right?
And see the reaction to the content that they're putting out instead of just cranking out. All right, we know what's going to happen in 6 years. We're going to put out Ant-Man 4,
right?
Or, and that's not happening. But you know,
I still think they're gonna run into a serious roadblock with the Marvels.
Yeah, me too.
I don't. But we'll get to that eventually. But real
quick,
and
I go ahead. I go into them all with an open mind.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
So, speaking of that, and to get off of Loki for a second.
Well,
so,
you know who doesn't want to get off of him? Miss Minutes does not want to get off of Loki.
That's true. So, this past weekend, Netflix dropped this limited series called Bodies.
Dead people.
Well, so the synopsis that's in their little blurb is that you have 4 detectives investigating the same body through 4 different periods of time. So it's like it's this time period sci-fi murder mystery.
So there's a person dead.
Yeah.
And I've got people from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s all...
So from late like 1890s, 1940s, present day, and then like 2050s.
All have the same circumstances with the same dead whatever.
Exactly. And so at first what you think is going to be, you know, kind of like, you know, a new take on an Agatha Christie kind of thing.
Right.
turns it, and I'm
or a new take on the procedural crime
right.
drama.
And I'm
Cliches all
going
over
to
the
talk
place.
about it, but try not to give too much away because you definitely should watch this.
Okay.
But it turns into a there's like elements of like V for Vendetta, where like the 2050 detective is living in a post-atomic bomb London, where a fascist government has taken over. That's like,
And he's still investigating murder. Go ahead.
And then, but the big reveal is that the reason this body is showing up, it's part of a larger thing that has created a time loop.
You know me and time loops.
Right, exactly.
Time's a flat circle.
Right, and so they're operating
what has
on that
happened
idea.
Before
Right.
will happen again.
So one of the people in there has figured out how to live indefinitely by constantly rotate, and there's
that is fucking bonkers.
Right, and
it makes perfect sense.
And part of it made me laugh because at a certain point you realize that the guy who is starting all this, or the person starting all this, they go back in time and like they sire their future selves, like great grandparents. And so of course I'm just thinking of like Futurama, where it's like, oh, I'm my own grandpa.
That's exactly what I went to. It was like, wait a minute.
Let's take lessons in time travel from Mr. I'm my own grandpa.
Good God. Okay.
So, and then
limited series, so it's
eight
like
episodes.
Shining Girls was,
yeah,
which was the same thing. It's like
right,
crime drama, but
slow burn too.
Right.
Like so, first 3 episodes are setting up atmosphere, all these different
all the timelines,
people. But
which is interesting that shows are doing that now.
Well, but
Invasion did it,
yeah,
setting up not different timelines per se, but different perspectives.
But this one, because like in the first half of it, there's a bunch of the elements of the story, and I'm going, like, why are you doing this?
Right.
Like, why are you going down this path? And then it's not until like the second or last episode that it's like, oh, well, thank you for at least tying that up, and it wasn't some random.
Thank you for addressing me walking down this one alley.
Yeah. So that,
which
but
is everybody's grape.
And then you find out, like, so, the obvious thing is once you realize it's a time loop, then it's like, oh, the detectives are working to break up the time loop so that you can avoid this catastrophic, like the catastrophic event is tied in to this dude,
to this dead body,
because that's or
you know what else,
and the time loop itself. So
Devs was kind of like that.
Exactly,
surrounded her dead body.
Well, and there's a lot of devs in it, and this is based off of a graphic novel. But that idea of like there's no free will, everything's predetermined.
Right.
But then the thing that breaks the time loop is free will.
Exactly. So. And that's okay. Spoiler alert. That's kind of what sci-fi has been. Good sci-fi has been for.
That's what I was saying. Is that like
OG Blade Runner?
I started it
Rutger Hauer might have been right.
Yeah. Tears in the Rain, man.
Fucking Christ. That's.
But like that's where I started out.
Tears in the Rain, man.
That's where I started out with this. Was like, oh, this is just gonna be the thing of like, we're in the 60s now,
right?
We're here, but no, by the end of the second episode, it was like, oh, you're on to something here. So.
And who did it? Doesn't matter. It's on Netflix.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmie, on social media and photography by Beck Ryder, original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.